this thing together? Oh, it doesn't.
No,
okay.
that is to hold it tight in the feed neck. That was the fix before they had clamping feed necks. That hopper's as old as my gun is.
That little side window.
Yeah, so you can see how much paint was in it. That was before speed feeds existed.
Fuck, you
There's no
got
batteries in it. And then if you stick your finger in here, you'll feel there's a little...
Yeah. Well, like
It's just a
piece of
a
tape.
it's like a ribbon. And when that bends, it shuts it off. When it isn't bent, it tells the motor to move. That's the same thing that's in the Pinocchios.
Is there batteries in this?
No. They go.
Hey, you want to text him and let him know that he did it? Let Alan know that whatever he did. I don't know. Alan!
Alan! Bane! Hi. Single 9-volt.
Does this thing drain battery?
Those are actually really solid hoppers. Or they work well. You could also get one that had like a 2 or 3 millimeter foam lining on the inside to help stop breaking paint.
Was paint, like when back in the day, was paint that brittle?
No, it was a gimmick.
Let's see if they want. Please, thank you.
If that's Matt, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hi, Terry.
You there? Alex is on the phone.
Whatever you did, hello. Whatever you did, I don't know if you.
I don't know if he can even hear
Hello?
you. As soon as I walked through the door, I lost him.
Hello. Nope. That totally.
Okay, you think you got it?
Hello? Oh, there we go.
Hold on, paintball.
My phone works back here. I don't know why.
So does mine.
Did it work?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you did that we didn't do, but it worked.
I don't know. So next time, just try closing everything and opening up in that order again.
Okie dokie.
All right.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
All right. Bye, Al.
Thank you, Alan.
We ready? We thumbs up in it?
I'll get out of the picture.
No, you can be in the picture.
I don't want to be in this picture.
You're lucky I can't take this camera off. I would follow you around.
Is this an exalt one underneath here? Is
Yeah.
it dirty? It is dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dirty. Yeah, we're having issues. It wouldn't fucking work for us.
We always have
We had to
issues.
get Aline online to take over the computer. Tech support. Never here when you need them. But they can always take over your shit.
And they never tell you what they're doing either.
No.
They just make you feel stupid. Like, I didn't do anything. We ready?
Yeah. And going live. Oh shit. I did it early.
You're fine. And now we're live.
And now.
Thank you for waiting. We were having some technical difficulties because neither one of us are computer people.
No.
And Jake is never much of a help with anything.
This is Jake, for all you don't know Jake. Welcome.
The captain of the Mad Cow tournament team. So, he's got some things to tell you real quick before we get into the tech video.
Oh man, oh I do. Okay, well,
On the spot. Ready to go.
Well, we have our new bunkers, the new expansion pack, and we're practicing at 9 tomorrow.
On Sundays.
Huh?
It's
On
not
Sunday.
just not tomorrow. It's actually you guys practice 9 o'clock every
On
Sunday.
Normally every Sunday.
if you have any issues, just contact us out here. We'll let you know.
So anybody
We'll get you in touch with Jake.
in the area that would like to do some practice
Yeah.
on
Any
Sundays.
teams that want to come out and practice, you guys are more than welcome to.
If you don't have a team, you're still more than welcome to come practice.
Yep.
You just want to try out tournament paintball. You want to get better at it. Come on out. Pew pew. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people out here are willing to help. So.
Also, next week here at Mad Cow.
Yep. Next Saturday.
Saturday night at 7 o'clock. We have
Operation Starlight.
7:30.
7:30.
7:30.
It's our annual nighttime event put on by the Bob Whites.
Oh boy.
And that'll be a good time. Fireworks going up in the air.
Yep, we light
lots
up
of
the
glow-
field with fireworks.
Glow sticks.
Glow sticks for the players. So
Hot dogs this year, as always. Hot dogs, and big chips, and a drink. Comes with the registration pack.
So your food is all included in your entry.
So
And your
people-
day entry and night entry are two different. So if you come out to play the day, there is still that nighttime entry.
So you'll have to re-register for the night game.
Nighttime play.
and pre-registration.
Yep, pre-register. Save $5. Gives us an idea of how many people are going to be out here, and saves you guys some money. So we have donations and raffles and stuff from
We have-
different people that Bob White's provide for the event. They're the ones that put it on, and
They'll be watching. Look out for their page. We'll be doing a live of all the giveaways.
Mr. Nor over here is going to be doing a live video with some of the raffle items. So go ahead and check that out. And now we are going to start our tech video, how to time an autococker. So sweet sound effects.
So any questions, please leave a comment.
Yep, feel free to post. I am going to go over basics of how to time an autococker. If you have any questions, hit us up anytime. This is my 2001 Black Magic, and I don't know, it is all stock besides the barrel I use and the ASA. This was back in a time and age where guns did not come with ASAs when you bought them new. And the stock WGP barrel with these it's a little bit bigger bore size than what I like, so I switched it out. So we are going to start. The first thing I always set on a full body autococker is your back block. Your back block moves back and forth. Your ram moves it, goes back and forth to recock the gun, load a paintball, shoot, recock, load a ball, shoot, recock, load a ball, shoot. You get the idea. So you want to make sure that your back block is not hitting the body. If it is, you will hear like a kind of a ping noise or like a metal on metal contact noise. Makes the gun a lot louder. It will cause you to strip out back blocks, your pump arm right here. You'll snap rams. It can cause a lot of issues. So you want to set this to basically about the thickness of a sheet of paper or a business card if you want to be a little bit more play it a little bit more on the safe side. I usually do about a business card width in here. Then once your back block is set, which to set it, you will either spin where the pump rod is on the ram or where the back block is on your pump arm. To do that, take out the bolt and bolt pin, set them aside, take out your cocking rod, set that aside, and then you pull it back. I hold the pump arm, and then you can spin your back block either way you need to get it set. After your back block is set, you're going to want to set your cocking rod length. This controls how far back the back block has to come to cock the gun. If this is set too short, it is going to put a lot more stress on your ram and cause parts to break. If it is set too far out, the gun won't reliably cock. So what we're going to do to check that, with the gun uncocked, you're going to pull it back until it clicks. And that might be kind of hard to see right now. Not real bright, and actually I'll bring a light in a little bit. What you're looking for in here, when you look down in the feed neck, I can't see it right now, but hard to get it on camera because it's a little dark. You want your bolt sitting just slightly in the feed neck. So there's that hole in the feed neck where the paint goes. You want just the tip of the bolt still in there, about 1/8 of an inch still in there. That way when it comes all the way back, it is, yeah, we might be able to get it. Jake's being good for something right now. He's holding my light. Yeah, everything's backwards in the camera. There we go. In there just a little bit. That way when the back block comes back all the way, it just clears the breach. If your bolt comes too far back, it will cause one paintball to come in. That paintball will roll back. The next one will start to come in, and then when the bolt goes forward, you'll chop paint and break it. If it's set too far forward, paint won't feed reliably. So you want just a little bit in the breech. Thank you, Vanna. You can have a seat now. So now we have our back block set and our pump rod, or our back block and our cocking rod set.
Pump rod.
After those, we want to set our lug. Our lug is kind of a little set screw that goes down through here that gets caught by a plate in the trigger frame. That is what the hammer sets on. When you pull the trigger, it gets released, your hammer goes forward, hits the valve, lets air out of the gun. To set that, there is a hole in the back of the body on newer autocockers. On old ones, see if I remember right, it's pre-98 autocockers don't have this hole, so you got to do it from the bottom. So you got to take the frame off, make an adjustment, put it back together, check it, make a frame. It's going to take 1/8 Allen key. You go down through here, and then what I usually do once I drop the Allen key in with the hammer uncocked, slowly pull it back until you feel it drop into place. Dropped into place, it's tight now. And then you will make turns on this, little adjustments at a time, to get the hammer to release in the trigger where you want it to release. So to make it release later in the trigger pull, you're going to go clockwise, which is going to make your lug longer. You're screwing it in. If you want it to release sooner, you're going to go counterclockwise, and that's going to screw your lug up. And then what this does is, with the gun cocked, pull your trigger, and as the trigger starts to go back, I have mine release almost as soon as the trigger plate starts moving, but that will control where you have it release at. All the way through this part in timing, you don't need air on the gun. You can do all of this with no air. What you want is, you want your hammer to release in about the first quarter of the trigger pull, or that's my personal preference. People will do things a little bit different with autocockers. There's a lot of adjustability, so people have different personal preferences on how they do it. If I don't have mine set up the way I like it, I have problems. It's referred to as short stroking, and that means that you either don't pull the trigger all the way or you don't release it all the way, and then that causes problems with the gun not cocking or paint breaking, or it can cause a multitude of issues. So what I do is, within the first 1/8 to quarter of the trigger pull, I want that to release. Alright, that's set. The next thing we are going to check is going to be our 3-way. To do this part, you do need air. me grab my tank and screw it in. And then with autocockers, a common thing, if you turn on the air and it's not cocked, it's not uncommon for them to leak out of the valve. So always cock it first. Turn the air on. And then when I am checking my three-way, I already know where my trigger is releasing for the hammer. So I take my cocking rod out, and it just makes it quieter. I'll get a loud pop for the first shot, and then after that, it's a lot quieter. I'll show you. And now, that's all the noise you get. And I just shot a bunch of air into Chad's ear, so he's probably not happy with me. So here, what we are checking is where in the trigger pull the three-way actually starts to move the trigger. I try and have, yeah, where in the pull the trigger starts to move your three-way. Your three-way actuates your ram, which moves your back block. I try and have it, the hammer release in the first quarter of the pull, about a quarter of the pull blank, so we got half the trigger pull, and then I want my three-way to start moving. This helps me not short stroke it. Some people like the timing stacked closer together, some people don't. It's just personal preference. To make adjustments, you're going to adjust the collar on the three-way. You're going to take a little Allen key in here, loosen that up, and then you're going to turn this. Which way you turn this depends on the style of three-way that you have and the style of frame that you have. For frames, you have a slide frame like this, or you have a hinge frame where there's a pivot point at the top and the whole trigger moves. That is more common for what you will see, but depending on which style trigger you have will determine which way this rod moves when you are shooting. And then for three-ways, there are two main styles of three-ways. There's 2 O-ring and 3 O-ring styles, which, let me get a piece of paper. See my pretty artwork? You have your three-way stem, and then the outside of your three-way. Like I said, we have 2 different ones. Three-way stem, outside of your three-way. That one's not centered very well, but you guys will get the idea. For the 2 O-ring style, like it sounds, you have 2 O-rings. The 3 O-ring style, you have 3 O-rings. The reason that makes a difference is for the 3 O-ring style, really what you're adjusting is this center O-ring, which way it shifts, because you have your air coming in, air going out to one side of the ram, air going out to other side of the ram. So what you're adjusting is this center O-ring back and forth on which direction it is sending air. These are typically a bit faster if you want a shorter trigger pull or you want to shoot as fast as you can with your cocker. These are the more common styles. For the 2 O-ring one, which is what is stock on them, or on most cockers, you've got your inlet, outlet, outlet, and then instead of having the 1 O-ring going back and forth, now you have these 2 O-rings, and they're going to shift back and forth to control which direction the air is going. For practical purposes, the 3 O-ring is going to be faster. The 2 O-ring is just less expensive to make, so you will see it on a lot more of them. If you guys need any clarifications with this stuff, please hit me up, especially out at the field anytime. I will gladly walk through any of this with you. So, right now we have our gun set. So our gun should be timed. The way we'll check this, gonna be loud, so I'm sorry, Chad. I'm gonna cover up the front of it with a rag. Hopefully that will help some. The mufflers won't fit because of the ramp. So, put my rag up here, and then you want the gun to. Why aren't you cocked? There we go. Okay, you want the hammer to go, and then your bolt to move. That would be a properly timed autococker. If you need help timing them, I will gladly help you time them. I will walk you through it on how to do it. There's also a lot of references online. There's a website called Custom Cockers. If you got on there, there's more information than you would ever need for them. The next step after timing it would be sweet spotting your regulator, which is the last step in setting it up before you go and play with it. There are different techniques to this, and some people have different preferences on what to do. What I'm going to show you is the way I prefer to do it, and then after that, if you guys want more information, come on out here. I can run you through a bunch of the different ones, and it's really what you feel the most comfortable with. So, in here, behind your back block, hard to see because it's pretty far down in there, you've got a brass piece, and here, let's just do this. This piece in here is your IVG, or your IVG, there you go. That brass piece. This is going to adjust the spring tension. On average, it takes 8 turns to go all the way out from flush to all the way bottomed out on the inside. What I do is I will back it out to flush and then go in 4 full revolutions. That will set it in the middle. I then adjust the regulator. Depending on the regulator you have, it will change which way you need to adjust the screw. On these, you turn it in to turn the pressure down, out to turn the pressure up. So I would turn this in until there is no air going to the gun, and then slowly start backing it out until that you get a loud pop when you shoot the gun. At that point, you're going to need to go out to a chronograph, and shooting over the chrono, you're going to make small adjustments on your regulator until your velocity peaks. At one point, turning the pressure up on your regulator will actually cause your velocity to decrease because you have too much pressure on the front side of the valve. So what you want to do is turn the pressure up until you see that decrease, and then turn the pressure back down. That will be the sweet spot for your reg, or the most efficient setting for your reg at that point. You will then go in here and do all of your velocity adjustments through your IVG. Some people prefer to set this, leave it, and adjust their velocity from here. Can't really say there's a right or wrong way. This is just the way I prefer. Last week, you might have caught a video that Chad posted with his Empire Resurrection. They are going to be easier to time slightly. All the same principles apply, but you don't have a back block adjustment and you don't have a cocking rod adjustment. All those are, you don't have a back block, you have a sled that moves back and forth, and you don't have a cocking rod because your bolt pin goes directly down into the hammer. So those are those adjustments. You can also adjust your low pressure regulator, which this only controls the pressure to cock the gun. The way I set these once you have the gun timed and shooting, you turn the pressure down until it doesn't cock anymore or it barely moves. Hold the trigger down, and then slowly turn the pressure up on your LPR until your back block goes all the way back. Then turn it up about another eighth of a turn, and then that will be about as low as you can run your LPR pressure on that particular gun. I still have the stock WGP regulator, so to adjust it you actually have to take it off, and then there's an internal adjustment. So that is timing an autococker. There's different ways to check timing. One of them is with a piece of tissue. So you would pull the trigger, back block would stay back as long as you hold the trigger. Drop a paintball in, let go of the trigger, the paintball feeds. At that point, you're then going to take a piece of tissue paper, set it over the top of the feed neck, and shoot the gun. If the tissue paper blows off the feed neck, then your timing points between when the hammer releases and your back block starts to move are too close together, and they need to be spaced out a little bit more. The reason for that is, unless you were using a force-fed hopper, you don't want air coming back up your feed neck. If you have air coming back up your feed neck, it's going to slow down how fast that next ball can feed. If you're shooting brittle paint, it can actually cause paint to break in your hopper and in your feed neck as well. And really, that's it. I know that was a lot of information in a quick amount of time. Feel free to watch the video over and over and over again. We like it when you do that. And contact us with any questions. Problems, questions.
Anything you might want to see.
Yep. Like I said, we have people on staff that have worked on most type of guns out there, at least the common ones. And we have people that shot autocockers. When I started playing, people were shooting autocockers and angels mainly, at least where I lived. So I got a lot of experience with autocockers. I preferred them over the angel, all personal preference. Have team members that preferred the angels, again, personal preference, but we have a lot of experience out here, a lot of nice, friendly people, and then sometimes we have to deal with Chad, but that's right.
Oh, jeez.
Life can't be perfect.
Maybe we'll do a Metadyne.
Oh,
launcher.
yeah.
Maybe we'll bust out a Metadyne launcher next week, or
So,
That would be cool.
and,
if you guys
maybe
want
do-
to see us do a Metadyne launcher, there's the ones that shoot the Nerf rockets, then go ahead and like this video and comment in here that you want to see it. If we get, what,
I don't know.
20 people saying they want to see it?
Sure.
If we get 20 people saying they want to see it, then next weekend we'll have one of the Metadyne launchers in here and we will go through it and how to do it, and then maybe we'll shoot Jake with Nerf rockets and you guys can watch us do it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yay!
Other than that, what else we got?
Again, Operation Starlight this week, or next weekend,
1 week. from
July
today.
28th. Starts at 7:30. Dinner's included. Come out, have a great time. There's fireworks all over the
Raffle,
field.
Good prizes. There's
Raffles.
A marker, pretty
Yep.
cool marker bag. There's all kinds of cool gear from Social Paintball.
We got a huge package from Social
There's
earlier this
also-
week. Unfortunately, all has to go through Operation Starlight. There were a bunch of us on the team that were trying to call dibs on stuff, and apparently that doesn't work. So, coming out, win the stuff that we want, have fun. It's a great time. And if you have guns sitting around and haven't used for a while, you want us to take a look at, bring them out a bit earlier in the day, and we'll get them all up and running for you. And if you guys have any guns that you wanted to try, comment, let us know. And we might have people out here that own those guns, and a lot of the people are pretty good about letting you try equipment out. I know if I have any guns that you want to try, hit me up, let me know. I let people play with them all the time. So, other than that, you guys have listened to me long enough. You're probably asleep by now. So, the history teacher voice is a blessing and a curse all at the same time. So, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Coming out tomorrow, we are open from 10 until 5, and the Mad Cow guys are practicing at 9.
Guns up at 9.
Have a great week.
All right, guys. See you next time.
I think I was actually supposed to hit stop streaming first, and then